Hello, today I want to talk about superpowers that I acquired while I was member of McGill Toastmasters. I was member of a club, McGill Toastmasters, from October 2014 to October 2020. Actually, I just left 2020 because of the pandemic. We couldn't meet in group anymore, and I was not a fan of meeting through Zoom meetings or hybrids or whatever. So yeah, that's why I left. And then once I lost the routine of going to my weekly meetings at this club, McGill Toastmasters Club in the McGill campus in Montreal, then it was hard to pick it up again. But you may ask, what the hell is Toastmasters? Well, Toastmasters is a non-profit educational organization, and they focus mostly on teaching us how to become better communicators and how to become better leaders. And what it is that we, at least in our club or most clubs, we meet for 2 hours once a week, and we do speeches and we practice leadership roles and this and that. So that's what Toastmasters is. And it was a lot more than just learning leadership and learning how to speak in public. It was also part of building a community. I have friends from my time that I was there that they're still my friends now. I mean, from the time 2014 that I became a member until now 2023, that's 9 years. And yes, there are people who I still see from those meetings. And we created a nice community, a nice friendship. The thing that I like is the club is full of people who are eager to learn, eager to improve themselves, eager to develop themselves, and they are willing to put the time and the money. And when I say the money, it actually is not that much money. I think the membership per year was about $150. If you count 50 meetings per year, or yeah, that comes to about $2 per hour. So it is just unbeatable what we learn. Yes, so I like to talk about the superpowers that I learned. So there is the superpower of public speaking. There is the superpower of being a good storyteller. There is the superpower of learning leadership, and there is the superpower of learning how to build communities. So let's talk for a minute about the superpower of public speaking. So imagine that you just attended to Toastmasters meetings during 1 year, for example, and you took several roles, speaking roles, leadership roles, whatever, okay? And that's it. You never became a champion. You just wanted to develop a little bit your public speaking skills, and you didn't take it much farther than that. But now you're going into a job interview, and now you are competing against someone who didn't attend a Toastmasters meeting. Okay, so now when a person is going to a job interview, they are asked open-ended questions. Right? Some of the questions that employees ask you is, tell us about yourself, or tell us why we should hire you and not the other person. Well, if you have practiced public speaking and you have stood in front of an audience 50 times during a year, which is 50 meetings during the year, then you have developed a little bit of self-confidence. You have developed a little bit of fluidity. You have developed the skills to express yourself without hesitating too much. And this is a superpower. You can be ahead of your competitor without realizing that the reason why you are ahead is because you are expressing your ideas better, because you have concise sentences in your head that just blurt out of your mouth, and your competitor may not have those skills. So that is one of the reasons why Toastmasters and the art of public speaking is just a superpower. And that, without counting, once you have a job, you can just stand up in front of an audience and explain a concept. Talk about, I don't know, the next project your company is organizing, or yes, the business plan for the next year, self presentation, what gift, you can stand up and just explain your idea better. Okay, so yeah, that's public speaking. Then the superpower of being a good storyteller. Now, when we write a speech, we also want to have a story because we know that storytelling has power. And if you don't know, there are the CEOs, the most famous CEOs of our time, like Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett. One of the reasons why they became so powerful is because they are good storytellers. For example, Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon, Amazon was a corporation that was losing money for about 10 years consecutive. And, there was Jeff Bezos standing in front of his investors and say, give us more money to invest in our technology, to invest in our inventory system, to invest into this and that. And I promise you that we will become rich, we will become powerful, blah, 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 whatever. So the way that he explained that story, it was believable because that was a system or investment system that practically didn't exist before Jeff Bezos. The fact that investors would just blindly give money to an entrepreneur, a CEO, and they will see negative return year after year, and there will go Jeff Bezos once again standing in front of his investors and asking for even more money. And of course, let's not forget about Steve Jobs and the storytelling that he did to sell the idea of the iPhone. Remember, it is a music device. It is an internet device. It is a phone. It is a phone. It is a music device. It's an internet searching device. It is the iPhone. Whatever, whatever. So he told this story, and of course he captured the imagination of everybody else, and then the iPhone transformed the world. And never mind Elon Musk, the way he tells a story about that allow him to build what is it, Tesla. Tesla, a concept that people from other car companies, they laugh at that concept. And Elon Musk, of course, he's genius in engineering, but also his storytelling abilities allowed Tesla to thrive and to become one of the most valuable companies in the world. So storytelling can help you explain complex ideas and information in more understandable and relatable way. So yeah, you have complex idea. For example, Elon Musk, he explains how he's gonna build rockets and how he's gonna have those rockets. Yes, we were talking about Elon Musk explaining the complex idea, which is how to send a rocket into space and then having that rocket land back into the earth, as opposed to the way that it used to be done before, where a rocket would just disintegrate. So those are complex ideas, and you can only explain those ideas through storytelling, or you can create an emotional connection, making your message more memorable, or instill a sense of purpose and motivation. So we can do this. Warren Buffett, he have motivated or instill the desire of millions of investors to give him their money because he can produce yes, outstanding returns. So people tend to remember stories much better than dry facts. Yeah, once again, what is it? Steve Jobs selling the what is it? The iTunes. Is it iTunes? Yes, whatever. He says, imagine fitting 1,000 songs in your pocket, right? Unto that moment, that was possible, but companies went around explaining it in other ways, like explaining, like imagine putting, I don't know, 20 gigabytes into a chip, which is not the same as putting 1,000 songs into your pocket. So that you learn through storytelling. Now, the superpower of leadership. In our club, of course, it was a big organization. Here you can see a photo of this group. You know, you have to organize this group to see who's going to speak first, who's going to speak second, how are we going to raise money, how are we going to promote people among the ranks or different levels of speaking, whatever. So we had the ability, or we were exposed to some leadership roles, and you know, learning leadership can inspire and motivate the people who work with you, increase productivity, ensure employee satisfaction and retention, facilitate effective communication, resolve conflicts, encourage adaptability and innovation, foster strategic thinking. It goes on and on. So these are all the advantages that when you learn some leadership skills, then those advantages are into your pocket. You are a good leader, people trust you, and you have credibility. You promote personal and professional development of your team. You aid in the achievement of your own personal goals and the goals of the members of your team. And you contribute to a positive organizational culture. If you are a good leader, people will follow you, no questions asked. If you are a bad leader, people will always test you and see if they can challenge you. So yeah, leadership is extremely important in any organization, whether it's a private, non-profit, whether it's your family, whether it's government, so on and so forth. And then finally, Toastmasters gave me in particular the superpower of learning how to build communities. And I say that right now I build a community. This community is called Solopreneurs Montreal, where I invite what is the self-employed freelancers, solopreneurs to participate in meetings and get together, so on and so forth, to learn, to grow together, to support each other. But you know, this was my project. You could have a project that is based on, let's say, a readers club. Let's say you like to read, I don't know, science journals, and you can organize, if you know how to build communities, you can organize a group of people who like to read science journal. For example, I also like photography, and I see people who have organized photography clubs or personal development groups or anything else. So if you learn how to build communities, you can either become a part of a community that somebody else has built, or you can build your own. And so those are the superpowers that I have learned from Toastmasters International, and they are available to you because Toastmasters International is all over the world. If you just go to the website and you type the name of the city, I'm sure there's going to be one or two. So to summarize, the superpower of public speaking, the superpower of being a good storyteller, the superpower of learning leadership, and the superpower of building communities. So that's all. Please check it out, Toastmasters. I'm forever grateful. And one other benefit is that, you know, as you can see clearly, English is not my first language. Spanish is my first language. But these meetings allow me the opportunity to further improve my English. And if English is not your first language, this is also a place where you can go and explore your vocabulary and talk in front of other people, and I'm sure you're going to find it extremely helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.